scalp? And she says, yes, she's white.
That's how she told?
Yeah. Well, you know, we were all so brown.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, yeah,
because,
right. Well, it would be.
But
Well,
that kind of insulted me.
Didn't you notice that that Claire's complexion was like
Yeah.
yours?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Right. But
But
one of the
is-
things I remember, excuse me?
Go on, go ahead.
One of the things I remember, first things I remember, I think it was in Blythe, and I think maybe Leota was in school there. And I guess I was going to talk about, I don't know if I was going to school or church or whatever, but Mother always pulled my hair back and then put a great big bow on top. And I always felt, I didn't want anything special to, people would look at me because I was very shy. And I, you know, I didn't like it because I would rather just had it real plain.
Maybe we'd better talk about when we were all together up here. Do you remember when we got together as a family again from Dad?
Well,
Because I can't remember.
I'm just, I just can't put it all together.
You know, Mother came to try to get us or talk to us. We were at the Central School, and they had told us that you know, not having anything to do with her, and they made us frightened of her. We were afraid. So when she came to talk to us, we were afraid to talk to her. But it was after that somehow or another she got us all, you know, all of us kids, and took us up to Salem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how come you didn't come down to California? Do you know why you were left in Salem?
Was he left in Salem, or
Well-
had he gone down to California before with his dad?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
where it was.
Dad and I went down to California.
Oh, that's right.
We went on the freight train.
Oh, did you
Oh,
really?
yeah. We lived out of Salem. Of course, back then, to travel, that's the way the poor people travel. They just, in fact, the railroad company put an extra car on to load them up in.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they really?
So
I didn't do that to
well,
me.
it doesn't mean that
Yeah.
you could go through a town. Some jerk would try to chase you off the train.
Bull, they call them bulls.
Bulls. But we got to, let's see, what's the name of that town down by, just below Medford?
Merced.
No, just below Medford into California.
Eugene?
Oregon.
No,
Klamath, Grants Pass?
no, beyond, in
Beyond
California. In California.
Oh, well, Wairika's the first town.
Well, what's the next one?
That's the only.
Well, anyway, there's a town there.
Shasta's.
And the thing to do when you get to town, and you just got in on a train, and the train's not moving any further, well, you go up to the county jail,
Oh.
and they put you in the cooler overnight. They give you a supper.
Did they do that to you?
Mm-hmm. And then the next morning, they fed you, and you're merrily on your way.
Well, I didn't know
Really?
that because when I took the freight going down to California.
Were you alone?
Yeah.
All by yourself?
I left Mother. I was about 16, 15 maybe.
Was
Left
that
Mother
in
over in
Salem?
Yakima,
Oh,
Wenatchee.
Oh.
Fact is, I came and visited you. I left Mother, hopped the freight. We came over. I came to Seattle, and I come to visit you. And after a couple days, I took off. I think I had maybe $1 or $2 in my pocket. I got down to Grants Pass, and or maybe it was and they told I didn't listen to the old hobos who knew the schedules. I decided to take that train anyway. Heading over to went over to Klamath Falls, and they had been making this movie up here called Call of the Wild. And they had all the trucks and the movie equipment on this train. So this old hobo and I got into the cab of this truck. He got into the seat, in the driver's seat, and it stopped in Klamath Falls, and we were both sound asleep. And this bull, he reached up and he opened the door and says, "Okay, get out." So I just stepped out. I was so asleep, fell flat on my back for about 8 feet high. Oh, I'm telling you, that wonder it didn't kill me. But then he helped me up. He says, "Are you hurt?" And I said, "Oh, no, I'm not hurt." Well, I was, but because I had a headache for 3 days. Anyway, he said, "Well, go out to the end of the yards and you can catch the train when it leaves, when it goes out. It won't be going fast." So I had to